Hey there, this is Habib Wicks from Pure Trainer behind the camera, and I'm interviewing Leanne here to ask her why she developed the hot melt diet, which I think is one of the best fat burning programs ever invented because it includes the key principle of nutrient density, which we built Pure Trainer around, the cheat system diet, all that. So Leanne, tell the people the story of the hot melt diet. We think it's great. Why'd you do it? What are you doing with it?
Well, there's several reasons. Thanks, Habib, first of all. There's several reasons why I developed it. And the first one is, well, you know, I've been around for 18 years online with Saving Dinner. And things, you know, people are always asking me, why this, why that? And if you had a program like this, I would follow it. And I got enough emails from people saying, really interested in the whole keto diet, and if you had a program, I'd follow it. Or I had other people who said, I was on the keto diet, lost a lot of weight for a while, then completely stalled out. What's going on here? And then I really did my research and looked into the whole idea of this, you know, going into ketosis and all of that. And what I discovered is it's less about getting into ketosis and more about getting into the fat burning mode.
Yes.
It's not about so much. That's why I say you don't need the sticks, you don't pee on the sticks, you don't do the blood test, you don't do any of that. You don't have to. You can if you want to. You don't have to count your macros or whatever. You just need to get into the fat burning zone. And that's what our program is all about. And it gets you there by being nutrient dense, anti-inflammatory, and it quickly takes you into the place of just hot melting and getting just letting go of that fat. It's amazing.
And Jackie loves the name hot melt because you can think, you picture your fat melting like butter.
Exactly, just like butter.
So two questions. Number one, is this your first diet? Because you've been doing recipes, delicious recipes, for years and years and years. Is this the first diet you've done?
No, I mean, you know, I used to be over 200 pounds, and so for me, it was like I was always experimenting with myself. I did a thing called the 10-day blitz, and I do 2 smoothies a day and just a very anti-inflammatory dinner at night. The same thing with the 21-day knockout, all these different types of diet. But what I really discovered was that my number 1 and 2 principles are it has to be anti-inflammatory and it has to be nutrient dense. If we've got those 2 things, then we're pretty much, you know, we're in the zone, so to speak. But I've also discovered another thing, and that is that we have to kind of switch things up. And sometimes just doing things one way, it's just time to switch gears and do things another way. Because when we do that, our bodies are saying, well, wait a minute, what's going on? We were doing this and this, everything was going fine, but then you stall out. So if you could switch it up, you can get things going again.
And how is hot melt different from both low carb and Weight Watchers, which are 2 kind of market dominant approaches?
Sure. Well, low carb for sure. It's just, I mean, it's real simple. There's a lot of missing carbs. Hot melt, there's a lot of missing carbs as well, but it just would be high carb type things. Like you're not going to see potatoes and pasta and things like that, and even sweet potatoes and what have you. You're going to go steer more toward the green leafy stuff. All this, I mean,
slow carbs. Slow carbs.
There's a ton of things that you can eat. And the other thing is that you'll find in keto diets a lot of times that they look at the totality of the carbs, not the net carbs. We look at net carbs because we need some carb, right? I mean, that's what feeds our brain and what have you. Yeah. Also, carbs is where the fiber is. And so we need the fiber as well. Sure. So when we've got all of that balanced out and we're really going along the line of the nutrient density and adding those good healthy fats in, miraculous things start to happen.
Yeah. And we're seeing that you can lose a pound a day doing keto diets in general.
Absolutely.
It's not always healthy. People do a lot of crazy diet pill stuff, but what do you see on this? What can people expect over a 2 to 3 week period? What can people lose if they really follow the plan, 90%?
Well, okay, well, it depends on where they're starting from. And now somebody who has like 50 or more pounds to lose, I've had experience with my own hot melt folks losing 8, 9, 10 pounds a week. And that is only because they have shifted from being in a real, sugar burner to being an amazing fat burner. And the shift happens over, a good 4 or 5 day period. And some people actually get, you've heard it before, the carb flu. And that's, they're kind of getting off of the sugar, getting off of the carbs, using up all the glycogen that's in their liver, and then finally getting to that place of being in the fat burning zone. And if you're doing this in conjunction with a high nutrient food, and also with good healthy fats, not a bunch of sour cream and bacon all the time, and instead you're going for things like avocados and nuts and all the things that feed your body, and you're also doing this in a way that is easy and simple and delicious, you just make that transition easily.
So you're talking about the word transition here. You're transitioning away from what I call dumb carbs, because I like words like that, dumb carbs, onto smarter carbs, fiber carbs, and then more fat. So when people do that, the whole idea of keto and ketosis is, it's a code word for fat burning, right? Yeah. You're going to burn the fat that you put in your belly,
right?
But you're also going to burn the fat that's already in your system, because you have 25 times more calories of fat in your body than you do sugar,
right?
So the cravings go away.
The cravings go away, and some people, it's a very simple thing. It's like the cravings are gone away, and away we go. Some people, they feel a little funny, they may be a little lightheaded or whatever. It's just because they've been so dependent on carbs for so long that, even with smart carbs, they were just mostly smart carb dominant. Here we're shifting into eating more fat, a little bit of protein, and very little carbs. And it shifts your whole body into using fat. You first use the glycogen that's up in your liver, and then you start using the fat that's in your body. And it goes for those storage places that women are especially happy about. It goes to the thighs, it goes to the hips, and it takes this, that becomes the fuel.
And the first couple days, what do you expect on the hot melt diet? What do you get? And how long does it take to start working?
It only takes a few days to start working, and everybody is different. It depends on where you are starting, your starting place. I've seen people transition 2 to 3 days, where I've seen other people who it's taken a good 10 days. And it just depends on the quality of your diet beforehand. And it also depends on how much weight you have to lose. But I have seen women just do miraculous things and absolutely shred the weight. At first I was going to call it the shred diet, but when I saw these women, and I got testimonials saying, I'm melting here.
Yeah, yes.
I went, that's it, it's hot.
Yeah.
We are hot melting. It's just like butter in a pan.
Yeah.
And off it goes. And that to me is like the biggest thing. And I did this unbeknownst to myself. I lost 70 pounds in 6 months. And I did this myself just by adding extra avocado into my smoothie, putting a few pine nuts and what have you in my salad just to make it a little bit crunchier and whatever. But I started to do that, and that's how I became a hot melter myself.
And there's a very specific meal plan on here that people
Absolutely.
get. So what kind of foods are you eating? What are some sample recipes that people are going to experience?
Okay, well, one of the things that I love is called Mighty Mitochondria Soup. So Mighty Mitochondria Soup feeds the mitochondria inside, and the mitochondria is responsible for your energy, and it's inside every single one of our cells. So I love this soup, and we make it a little bit fatty by going ahead and adding like some protein to it so you can have an entire meal. And it's got the bone broth and all the assorted vegetables in it. And then you put a little bit of olive oil in there, or you put a little MCT oil in there, and just add that bit in there. It's the fuel for the fire is what it is.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And do you have any here in your house that I can eat? I want some of that.
Lunch is coming.
All
That's right.
Cool. Thanks, Leanne. I appreciate
You're welcome.
that.